Hello everybody, Sneaky Chiefy here, bringing you another TAW tournament video. This one is Freager playing in, let's see, green. I'm going to change him. We're going to do Freager, is going to play as blue, as the Bulgarians. He's up against LordSavage in red as the Berbers. Now, LordSavage knocked out TAW member Stiglitz in the first round of this tournament, so Freager is coming, looking for revenge of his commanding officer, Stiglitz. Though LordSavage has a pretty good civ as the Berbers, a very strong civ. Cheap knights, obviously. Camel archers are no joke. Bulgarians, too. Could see a Krepos drop. Conics are a very strong civ as well. The cheaper blacksmith technologies can come in very handy. This is a fairly open map, so Bulgarian knights aren't too bad either. We'll probably see two cavalry plays here, but only time will tell what the players are going for. Map generation, neither are in the corner. That's a big deal with this map because there's a lot of extra wood in the corners. As it is, they're both kind of in the middle of their respective sides, and we'll have to deal with only 3 levels of trees. 3 or so levels of trees. 6 of sheep. The next villagers are going to wood for both players. Fairly standard starts. The real question is, when will the players decide to move out into the middle? It's a bit of a risk. But it comes with a high payoff as there's lots of food and gold to be had. Right now, both players just scouting out. Red's collecting some sheep on the right. Blue is looking for his own sheep on the left and catching a few. Boar lures coming in. Freager's idle TC time at the moment. Nice job, Freager, with baiting that boar. Freager's idle TC time is only 4 seconds. His idle eco is 27 seconds. LordSavage is sitting at, well, 15 seconds and counting of idle TC time and a minute of idle eco. Four on wood for blue. 3 on wood for red. As both players using their important housings to start establishing their front wall. Looks like blue got more sheep than red. We have 6 leftover sheep here. And about 6 left over for red. So both players finding some good sheep in the middle, taking advantage of that. And that's probably all the sheep on the map. So good job for both players. As this random red sheep is still out here. Good job from both players for scouting out the map pretty thoroughly. So far the scouts haven't found each other. Let's take a look at what they see, shall we? Here's what blue sees. Solid scouting through the middle of the map, and we see our first villager moving forward. I guess he's gonna try to lure this boar. It's a long ride. He better have loom. He does not have loom. This is a bit risky. It's a long run for a villager without loom. Maybe he'll only go to the mill. Looks like she'll be okay though. Just barely. As Freager uses the TC. Oh, and loses the vill anyway. That's a shame. Well, that's the risk. So take a look at the vill count. 17 to 17. So he might have lost the vill, but he would have the lead with 18 vills if he hadn't. Now it's 18 to 17. 18-18. So, I mean, not the end of the world because Freager already had a more efficient town center, but he's wasted that to collect that boar. Probably avoidable if he could have garrisoned that one villager or gotten loom before he tried that stunt, but I like the boldness of it from Freager, collecting food where you can, and it's certainly less risky doing that than dropping a mill with 4 villagers in feudal age, which could get sniped. Freager still kind of has the vill lead though. 20 to 19 is the villager count at the moment, as we see a second lumber camp go down for red and walls coming up for blue. Here come the barracks. Bulgarians known for their militia slash man-at-arms rush because they get free upgrades for their infantry units. as we see feudal age coming in for red. And there's red's barracks going down. Red playing a bit more open, so far at least. And there's some wounded villagers in there. Blue playing a bit more closed. Blue's going to have some strong eco behind this, what with that extra boar that he's taken. But he still hasn't clicked up to feudal age yet. It's at 22 pop. So could be going for a fast castle play. Clicking up at 25 pop or so. As Red's building his forward walls. Blue has his militia, not sending them forward quite yet. There is the feudal age. He'll be a full 2 minutes behind. And Red will probably drop a stable and start pushing out knights right away. There's the stable. This is what Savage did to Stiglitz, is he really hurt him with that scout rush. No villagers on gold yet. So we have 10 on wood, 11 on wood for red. Here come the militia. These will automatically turn into men-at-arms in about a minute. Timing is obviously very important there. And blue will want his scout to join in the fun. Blue, I don't know if he'll get... He's working hard at it. He's got 3 villagers trying to wall off as much as possible. But red scouts are going to be coming here shortly. And there's a bit of a hole there in that wood line. And these militia coming in. Red sees this and drops a tower instantly. Woodline is a bit exposed, so tower is one way of protecting it. But that's some precious stone, because there's not much stone on the map. As blue takes some TC fire. And we'll start to chip away at this tower right away. And if anything, this will keep the red scouts from attacking blue. Keep the red scouts back on defense. And certainly delaying a lot of eco. As well as the resources to build that tower. So, which is the point of a rush like this from blue, is to just delay, delay, delay. Red scouts jumping in. Good job from red to lure those men-at-arms under the tower's range, and red will clean this up without losing any villagers or scouts. But he did spend the stone, he did idle his eco. The villager counts are 26 to 24. Blue dropping farms, sitting on gold, and building a blacksmith for himself, and the stable has gone up in the meantime there. And through this, he was able to fully wall himself off, so because of that rush, it forced red scouts to stay at home for a bit longer, and that allowed blue to build up. So a good play all in all from blue, I'd say. Maybe not as much value from that early pressure as maybe he would have liked, but it still served its purpose. Red will have to start mining stone or buy stone if he wants to go for a second TC right away. Versus blue, who could build his second TC as soon as he hits Castle Age. And blue's got a 3-villager lead. So, red's going to look to try to break through wherever he can. Blue will react. House wall behind this. Red will move to a new section of wall. House walls are expensive. Takes a lot of wood. Scouts coming out, or at least one from Freager as well. He'll want to keep that intel. And red retreats for now. Blue still got the villager lead as he drops a mining camp. Start to get some stone. Might see some crepost drops as we got more scouts coming out from red, which will greatly delay his castle time. We see some spearmen too, speaking of delaying castle time. Spearmen and men-at-arms from Freager. Well, good pick there. One less scout to worry about.
Приказания.
red walling up back at home. Both building farms. Seeing who can race to Castle Age first. Freager's got a lot on gold. He's got 5 on gold. As red just takes his scouts and scouts the map out. Freager might just buy some food to get to Castle Age. He's spending his food on more scouts. So both content to stay in the feudal age a bit longer. Blue will move forward with his men-at-arms and scouts and probably keep his spearmen at home, I'd imagine. Military is 10-7 in Blue's favor. Villagers are 36-32, as both players about 2 minutes of idle TC time. But you look at LordSavage's idle eco is 17.5 minutes. It's huge, and that's mostly because of the tower and the defense that he was forced to play. Oh, red makes some spears in there. Forces Blue to run away. Took a lot of damage on those scouts as well. So, just dancing around in the middle, testing each other out. Men-at-arms could certainly be the X factor here. Blue keeping his spears at home, which is a smart choice. And it's unfortunate, red is wide open on this side. Blue is looping around to the other. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Has a second stable coming down, and Blue's got just barely enough res to click up. There he goes. At 39 vills, 40 vills, Freager is on his way to Castle Age. LordSavage is probably right behind him, but with 36 vills, so Freager will have a stronger eco and will have enough, maybe even for a castle. He might not go creposts. We'll have to see what Freager decides if he wants to go castles at home, aggressive creposts in front of red space, or TCs behind all this. Red has moved most of his military to attack, including those spearmen, which leaves him, forces him. Oh, there's a hole. Oh, that's huge. There's still probably 2 holes, in fact, right through there. Not to mention this side, so things are wide open for red. Let's see if blue can exploit this. He's got to fight on 2 fronts. He cleans up the attack there. Red scouts are coming back to help out. Blue men-at-arms walked right into the CC, which is unfortunate. Well, blue could get a pick or 2 here. The tower is not at play on this side of the wood line, as red's distracted with the men-at-arms. This is a great play from Freager, attacking 2 sides. Let's see if he can get 1 pick, at least here. Real slow reaction from red. There he goes. 1 vill down. That's great. Get another. Come on. Still, idle TC's time. Knocking red off wood is big. And there's holes all over the place. This is big too. This is a great engagement. You want your men-at-arms fighting the spearmen and your scouts killing villagers. You don't want your men-at-arms walking in front of the TC though. And these are longswords now, excuse me, as they've gotten that free upgrade already. Well, Freager would want that back, but Freager has caused the damage. 35-42 is the vill counts. Freager spending his stone on another town center. I'm not against it. And at archery range, as we start to see skirmishers come in. Interesting. So maybe he's expecting camel archers or cav archers from the Berber player. Skirmishers is an interesting choice. We will see knights. Berbers get cheaper knights. And plenty of spearmen, 6 spearmen or so back home. So we'll see knights from the Bulgarians and a mix of skirms and spearmen. At least for the time being. I like Freager's position a bit better at this point. Both players keeping it safe as blue stole red's stray sheep that was over here. Red is going straight cavalry with some spears at home. And red will look to attack. He is a more aggressive player. Blue's got plenty of things in response here, as this locked gate is causing some supply line issues. Freager's got enough for a castle as we see bloodlines and husbandry coming in. Castle could be huge too, because Bulgarians get stirrups, which is faster attacking cavalry. And red will swoop this sheep back up, which is hilarious to me. I hope blue doesn't delete a wall to let the sheep in at the wrong moment. Is there a hole? There is a hole! Oh no! And here comes red. I don't think red sees the hole though. He does. Blue's been warned, however, because red attacked this wall even though he didn't need to. And blue will get the house up just in time. He'll lose a knight for his troubles, but they can just walk around the side maybe? Oh, there's still a hole. Wow. That's really unfortunate, as all blue's spearmen are caught out as well. So now red needs to react, try to save as many vills as possible. Quick wall is not in time. One vill down for blue. 2 vills down for blue. Blue pulls his spearman back from the front, but continues to lose vills. He's still got a 5 vill lead. Both players are on 2 TCs, and blue will eventually clean this up, but it's a lot of idle time. There's still a hole through here between these two. Believe it or not. It's right there. It's hard to see, but it exists. That may come into play later. Meanwhile, blue taking the fight to red, which I'd love to see, as he's got the numbers here. Red just defending with spearmen and keeping his town center nice and tight to protect his vills that way. And there's a Krepos to take the first middle position. Blue's got scouts all around too. I gotta say, I kind of like that decision from blue, from Freager. This Krepos is squarely in the middle of the map, or just about. Maybe right here between the gold and stone would have been better, but he's putting a town center on this gold and wood, so that's a good spot for it too. And the Krepos certainly will do a good job to keep map control. Red putting his castle down to protect 2 gold piles right in front of his base. And sending 7 knights to protect 11 villagers as they built this castle. Red also mixing in camels, which is... Oh, and he's still got some... Yeah, he's got some knights at home for blue. Spearmen just can't cut it against those knights. And this will distract, in the very least, distract blue. And be very annoying. Blue doesn't have much to fight this either. The spearman will certainly help, but there's still a knight in his base. Gotta plug that hole up though. Yikes. Castle's up for the Berber player. TC, look at all these spearmen too. It's not that they're not helping because they're protecting these 2 villagers, but all these villas on the other hand are at risk. Vill count is 55 to 59 in LordSavage's favor. Blue attacking back though, at least hitting the lumber camp. Red's got some upgrades. He's got forging and scale barring armor, while blue does not. So that's about the difference here. Blue is on 3 TCs though, so hopefully we'll see him take back the eco lead. But red is on the prowl. As we see another barracks come in. And red will just keep putting knights through this hole if blue doesn't fix it. There's red's 3rd TC. Anyone's game at this point. As we see Conics coming in, very strong unit. 17 to 22 is the military, 63 to 66 is the eco. Both players have some sort of presence in the middle with some sort of castle type building and a TC. Red being really mobile with his units as we see Blue looking to carve out a bit more of space for himself with the palisade wall. Numbers are in Red's favor as well as the upgrades, so these two knights will die. As will some villagers. And Red pouncing forward with a bunch of just moving around the Krepos really. Scale barding armor now coming in for Blue, but these knight numbers are getting a little scary. I'd like to see these spearmen come back to help. And ideally these spearmen become pikemen. That's a lot of red knights. Freager selling a bunch of wood, looking for more gold. And Freager getting fletching as well. Probably for his town centers, I'd imagine. And I like this idea for the monastery too. With all these knights out there from the Berber player, monastery is a good choice. Okay, forward siege workshop and stable coming in on the left from Blue. I like this too. Plenty empty space that way. And it is the weak side of Red's eco. The vulnerable side, I'll say at this point. Military 34 to 28. It's kind of a weird mix of military with 19 spearmen. I mean, if you have 19, you gotta make those pikemen at that point. 3 skirmishers, 2 scouts, 7 knights, and 4 conics, so a bit of a melange. As we see a forward monastery, 2, and a stable from Red. We may see Mangonel from Blue on the left. Blue looks to continue building his little wall. Vills are 79 to 82 as both players are on 3 TCs and producing as fast as they can. Slight advantage to Red as Red puts a second castle on the right, which protects this stone and gold, as well as a 4th town center pretty close to Blue's. Blue does not see this yet. Well, he does now. He sees it with the spearmen. I don't think he has the numbers to react, however. That is a lot of knights, and they're +1/+2 knights. So the knights, okay, upgrades are even at this point, as we see pikemen coming in as squires, which is awesome. But we see iron casting coming in, so that'll be advantage Red on the upgrades, as well as the numbers. 24 knights for Red there. And taking the fight with spearmen over pikemen, probably not ideal. Pikemen will come in just now. That'll help greatly. And followed with stone walls. I like this decision. Stone walls there, much more secure than palisades. Red collecting relics now in the middle monastery, and on his way to Imp. Blue building up a siege push. He's got one of everything over here. Pikemen, elite skirmisher coming in. Pikemen, knights, and siege rams. That could definitely catch Red by surprise on his left flank. But Red's got 2 other TCs in the middle that he can keep booming with. We shall see. I still wonder at the skirmisher decision, because there are no ranged units whatsoever from Red. But this is what it is. This Blue's got a monk. Run away, little monk, run away! Blue has plugged this hole with a stone wall, which is good. Red killing some palisades. See if Freager gets the wall down. He'll have to hurry, because they can run right through there. Here they come. They're busy fighting on the front here. Okay, he's brought his army back to deal with that. These pikemen will do work. At least scare Red away. Blue lost 2 bills in that encounter. Conics will do decently against the camels too, because once they die, they just turn into infantry, which will do fine against camels. But Blue's army a bit split up. This takes TC fire. Blue looking to force the engagement. Blue will see that Imperial Age is in for red right now. Blue has the Vil advantage, 95 to 92. He also has the army, 45 to 29. But Imperial Age means that trebuchets will start coming out from Red's castle, which is a big deal. Obviously, we'll take out Conics and TCs. I love this. I was going to say I need a true castle from Blue so that he can get the tech, like stirrups, and obviously the trebuchets eventually. Blue will be thinking of abusing the market now to sell off some of that extra wood and click up to Imperial Age as fast as possible. Blue did snag a relic, which is big. Red's got one relic as well. Blue has other relics going for a second. I love that. But this outpost is under assault here as the Conics charge in to snipe a Treb if they can. No, this is going to cost Blue a lot. At this point, you probably just let the Kreplus die and keep your military numbers, because diving in like that was not a good engagement for Freager, unfortunately. Blue has pushed in with the Rams, which is fantastic. Now you got to dive in with these Knights. I don't think Red has reacted to this yet. All the attention's on the front, which is understandable. Blue's military is a bit spread out at the moment. We got all these pikemen here not doing anything. Cavalier coming in. Blue has clicked up to Imp, which is great, and he is pushing in raiding with the Knights, which is great. Red reacting with camels, which makes sense. These battering rams will not take out the TC, not with this many Cavalier around. But Vils are going down. Blue has the Vil lead, so Blue can hold on, though he's losing this TC. Now Blue's Imperial Age himself, so he can fight back with Trebs. So Blue will have lost his presence in the middle, and this will be his only gold that he has available. A bunch of stables coming in. Stables and barracks. Red expanding all this. I mean, Red's got access to a whole lot of gold, that's for sure. Blue's got the one pile I mentioned earlier. I love these stone walls though, really smart decision. He could sneak around and get some of this gold here, but that's about all that he has access to at the moment. There's going to be a lot of, you need to upgrade these pikemen as well. Conscription, and is that stirrups coming in? Yeah, stirrups, light cavalry, so maybe a light cavalry spam. Trebs are the issue here, as Trebs will take out these forward buildings, and that'll just let loose these fully upgraded Cavalier with both Blast Furnace and Plate Parting Armor already in. Only thing missing is Paladin, as Red discovers Blue's forward base, and probably clean all this up. What do you do if you're Blue at this point? Try to spit out as many pikemen as possible. Murder Hole's coming in, anticipating the attack. Selling wood. Trebuchet's coming in for Blue now, but there's already 3 on the field for Red, as Red will completely take out this forward position, and streaming in camels. Camels and cav, that's about it. Here come the pikemen. I'd love to see these with a bit more upgrades, scale barding at least. Pikeman will go to kill some trebs as he loses his starting TC, which is huge. Not looking good for Freager at this point, fortunately. And he calls it. Yeah. Those cheap knights and then into Cavalier for the Berber players allowed him to spend that on upgrades, it seems like, and had those upgrades earlier, took better engagements. And obviously, was first to imp made a big difference as those trebs on the field took out so much. They took out the Krepos, town center, the other town center, and the walls very quickly. But Freager played it well. I like how he expanded outwards. If he detected more into pikemen, he probably could have lasted longer and turned the tide a bit. And Freager also was always looking to hit red back where he could. Got some good raids in. Had the right ideas for sure. But all credit to LordSavage for taking game 1. I'll be back for game 2 between these two players. It is a best of 3 series as they compete in the Juicy's 45 Battlegrounds tournament. A bunch of custom maps. This first map was Battlegrounds, and I do not know what the second map in this series will be. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you on the next one.